Hello Flosstube, my name's Natalia and this is my channel, Official Mermaids Cove. Thank you to all my returning subscribers, and to anybody who's new, thanks for stumbling across my channel, and hopefully you'll find something interesting to stick around for. So this is just my, well, I guess technically this is going to be my monthly wrap-up for November. I didn't do too much stitching. This past week was a holiday week, so I kind of wrapped up some of my main goals for the month, and then did some other, enjoyed the holiday with my family, and did a little bit of fabric drying that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So we'll go over what I've been stitching on, what I've been doing, and there's a little bit, well, some haul, not a ton. I'm still waiting on, I think they're going to be shipping out the mermaid boxes for Autumn Lane Stitchery this week. So if that comes in the mail in time for the next update, maybe I can do an unboxing video. So I'll show you that, and then we'll talk about my numbers for the month and plans to close out the rest of the year. So we'll start with what I've been stitching on. I'll insert a picture here. This is my Grinch piece. I'm recording this on Sunday, December 1st. So I don't think it's available on the Cross Stitch Studio website anymore. I think they only had it available till the end of the month of November. But this is where I'm at with it. I had a goal of getting 10,000 stitches on this in the month of November, and I did. I finished stitching the majority of the body and this fringe of white right here. So I still have the upper torso to do. But the rest of the pattern is done. I finished the words, the 2 strands of Christmas lights, and the check boxes. So I'm just stitching on the Grinch right now. I'm stitching this on a 28 count MCG Textiles oatmeal even weave, and I'm stitching it 2 threads over 2 threads of fabric. So it's stitching up like a 14 count. Pattern's pretty big, and I'm hoping to finish stitching before Christmas. So I'll have a lot of focus time on this project for this month, and hopefully maybe fully finish it before the end of the year for my husband. He wants me, well, the plan is to turn this into like a big old cushion for his desk area. So we'll see how we go with that. So far it's at 65%, so I have a little less than 10,000 stitches left to go, and hoping to make this a finish for December. So wish me luck with that. I really only stitched on one other thing. I had hoped to have this done before the mermaid box gets here, so this will be something else I'm trying to focus on. I'll insert a picture here. This is an Autumn Lane Designs pattern. This is Siren of the Seas, or Siren of the Sea, I guess. I keep adding an S in there. I'm thinking of the Dark Queen of the Seas cell. So this is what mine looks like. I'm stitching this on a 22 count heart anchor fabric that I self-dyed, and I'm doing it 2 over 1/10, so I'm only doing a half cross. The coverage is pretty good so far, and I believe I'm at 79%, so I have less than 3,000 stitches to go, so it's possible that I could finish it before the mermaid box gets here, if it gets shipped out earlier this week. I mean, it takes, like 4 or 5 days. I might be able to make this a finish for December. All that's left is finishing up these 2 tentacles here, and then the mermaid, and she has like her flowing hair and her arms to the sides. So, but the bottom is completely finished. I guess I can go ahead and just do this. I can just take off this clamp and show you. The other one's a lot more fabric, so I didn't want to take out the Q-snap, but I can show you this. So this is, I think the center would be right here. So the complete bottom half is done. This color here kind of blends into the fabric, but I kind of like that because it gives like an ocean effect. Mermaids, like sailors, weren't completely sure if they saw them or not. So you can imagine somebody like falls into the water and then they see this scene, and it's like trying to convince themselves whether they really saw what they thought they saw. But yeah, I think it looks really good on this fabric. It'll be interesting how I end up fully finishing it. So we'll see. I got plenty of fabric on the sides for a pretty decent finish. Okay, so clamp this up real quick. So hopefully this is not going to be one of my focuses for the month, but I would like to get it done before I start any of the mermaid box that's supposed to be coming from Autumn Lane Stitchery that I ordered. Supposed to have like a few kits in there, I think is what they said. So we'll see if I'm able to finish this in time to maybe start something in the box. Those were the only two things I was stitching on. I crocheted a little bit. I've been doing a lot of, I had some skeins of yarn that I balled up. So I have this. For anybody who's interested, this is a company that I came across during a fiber festival earlier, like first quarter of the year. It's called Hughes by the Fold Out Cat. Well, I guess the company is the Fold Out Cat. Is that what that means? Yep, thefoldoutcat.com. So you can check out them. This color is called A Penny's Life. I'm going with that. But it looks really beachy. It's got like the browns and teals. I don't know. When I saw it, I thought beach. And I'm stitching a scarf. I bought 2 skeins, and this is going to be like a pretty long scarf. So this is supposed to be like 1/2 of it here when I finish one of the skeins up, and then the other half. So you're supposed to be able to wrap it quite a few times. It looks kind of skinny, but then it also has, I have a secondary yarn, probably a gray. I have a few different options, but I'm probably just going to do it in a gray to line it with. So it has like kind of like an outer border. But you see there's like a, I don't know if you can see that. It's got like a shell pattern to it. If I do it this way. Can you see like the fans? But it's stitching up really pretty. So this is what I stitched on this past week. I was doing some of this during Thanksgiving. I only have a little bit left, so once I finish this, then I can do the other side, which basically branches off from this side. Same pattern, just the opposite way. There's also this yarn. Now, what this one is called, I might not be able to tell you. Yeah, I don't think I have the tag with me in the bag, unfortunately. But it's from the same company, and I have 2 skeins of this. This looks really pretty too. And this one actually has a bit of sparkle to it. So I'm planning on doing like a cowl or a infinity scarf with that. I'm planning on just doing a shell pattern and just, I don't know, sizing it for myself the way as big as I want it. So I'll be kind of winging it. We'll see how that goes. That's basically been all the stitching. I've been hanging out with my sister. She came down for Thanksgiving, so we've been doing stuff together. We did some fabric dyeing. I tried to film it, but I just don't have the tripod that I use. I clamped to a table, and where we were doing the dyeing, like, it didn't really have anywhere to clamp it to that would have worked out well. So I think I need to get like a tripod situation. I need to figure out something else and see if I can't do a better job of like showing the process next time. But I have the fabric here. We dyed 15 different pieces of fabric. The first one I want to show you is one that I wanted to do for Persephone. I can insert a picture. It's a crystal bug pattern. I'm thinking this is going to be my New Year, New Start. And my sister dyed this one. I don't know if the color is coming across as true. Yeah, I got a bunch of threads coming off this. But it's like a purpley. I think it's a good Persephone color. It's not quite as like reddish as the colors in the pattern, but it's a really big piece. I'm probably not going to use all of this for Persephone, so I'll trim her down and blanket stitch the edges. But it's got some nice modeling to it, and she kind of like mixed a bunch of different red dyes to get this nice purple color. There's like some nice shading to it, so I feel like it'll be a good backdrop for that. This is a 28 count even weave. It's white gart that I got from, I think, Hobby Lobby when they were having their clearance of their cross stitch section. I think that was last year. Then this was a linen. I don't know what count this is, to be honest. Some of this stuff, I thrift a lot of fabrics and they're not always labeled. I dyed this one. I did a pan dye. I have a little reel that I included. That one shows you like what it looks like before and after I rinsed it out. I think the final pictures I have are when it's dry. But some of the colors didn't really come out all that great. I tried to do some color corrections, but you know, it's kind of hard to get how it looks like in real life. But this has a lot of different modeling. I think I did like a pink and gray mix with this. And it's got like a bunch of gray patches. It's got like a lot of nice textures to it. And like a mixture of the, I guess, brownish tones and then like pinkish mauvey tones. Really light. So it turned out really nice. I like it a lot. I'll have to find something to stitch for that. See, some of the pieces like came out darker on one side than the other. So it's, and then the other side looks a little different too. So that'll be interesting to find something to stitch on. This is definitely an Ada. I think this is a 14 count. This one I dyed with blues and reds, and then you can tell when they mixed together they made some purples. So you have a lot of like, and this was pan dyed as well. And if you want to know what I mean by pan dyed, it's like those aluminum pans that you use for cooking. If you look at the reel, you'll see what I mean because I took a picture of it in the pan. This one, I believe, was jar dyed brown, and I think I just used one color, and it just crumpling up in the jar gives you these different modeling effects because the fabric that's really crumpled and like smushed against the side of the glass and against other fabric folds like makes the dye take less in those areas, so you get some really interesting effects. And jar dyeing is like, I think, the first way I started dyeing my fabric. It's really easy. I like the deeper colors, so you can tell like a lot of these fabrics are pretty deeply dyed. Some of these, like this one's a little more muted. I think it's more because I use less dye, because I let all these sit overnight. So I use really hot water, a bit of salt, and I let it sit overnight, and it really soaks up the dye the longer you have it. But this is like a really nice cloudy sky looking blue. This is also a 14 count Ada. I think all of the Adas that I dyed were either 14 count or 18 count, so it's pretty easy to tell. This one, I think I used like aquamarine grit on this, and maybe there's a little bit of some other colors in it because I got some purpley effects here. There's some dye spots here on this side, but if you flip it over, there's still a few here, so it's got some interesting effects to it. This side's more aquamarine-y, so I'd probably cut it in half. This is an 18 count. So this, you know, there's like two different sides. This one's more like, got some purple effects. This is more like clear aquamarine. And each of the front and back look a little different. So, be interesting to find something for that. This one, I think my sister dyed this one. It's interesting to see how different fabrics take the dye, because this one, she used a bunch of different colors, but what took the most was the green. This is like an even weave, and it's really soft. And it seems like thicker. I don't know if this is Lugana or not. It feels, I don't know. I felt this specific fabric, like I've dyed some of it, I thrifted some of it before. I'm not sure where the count is, but it dyed mostly one color, but there is tones in here, like you can see, but they're like faint. I think the main thing that took for this one was green. It's like a nice olive, murky green. And then we have some here. I think, I'm not sure if I pan dyed both of these or if I did one of these in a jar. But I've got some really nice greens. I've got like a brighter green here and a darker green here. I think this, so like this one was pan dyed and came out like this. This one I think might have been jar dyed and it came out like this. And it might have been the same dye combination, or at least I used the same color that was used in that one. So it's interesting the effects you can get. This is an 18 count Ada as well. The next one was definitely pan dyed. I used different colors here. And this one turned out pretty light. This is a 14 count Ada. I think maybe the dye was diluted, but there is quite a contrast here. You have some really nice yellows. Different sides look different. Like this one looks a lot more like dramatic and bold. The effects, this one not so much. So just depending on what you would want to stitch on here, you have different options. But it looks very pretty. It looks like, I don't know, like if you were looking up at the sky in a forest or something, you can see the light peeking through. Kind of looks like that. So maybe a fairy pattern, something like that would be good. That one turned out pretty. This one, my sister said this reminded her, it gave her like Egyptian vibes. This one gives me like beachy vibes. Like you can see like it's kind of sandy and then you have blue tones. She was saying she would give her like ancient Egypt vibes. I guess the browns, the tans, and the teals. But so yeah, we have this. These were muted dyes too. I think I just was trying to use up the rest of the dye that we had. So yeah, I like the effect. There's quite a bit of white in here. Maybe just because the dye didn't take, or maybe because there wasn't enough dye. But with the way that it looks, it actually looks okay. I wouldn't like feel the need to over dye it or re-dye it again. I think it plays well. So I like that a lot. That might be interesting for a mermaid design. And I believe that is, yeah, that's also 18 count. We have this one. This one was also, I think, I don't know if I pan dyed this or if I did it like just in a plastic tub. But this isn't jar dyed. I used some yellows and some reds and maybe pinks. And you see you got some orange tones from that too. So it turns out really, really pretty. It's funny because I think I used goldenrod Rit. I'll see, this is much more dramatic over here. The goldenrod comes out looking orange when you pour the dye into the water at first. So you're wondering like, am I really going to get like a nice yellow from this? But these turned out like really nice. This is like really dramatic. I have quite a few of these fabrics and sometimes I'm not quite sure what to stitch on them. Maybe a monochromatic pattern. Maybe I could try to pull out one of Stitching Jewel's chromatic patterns that she dyes, or that she charts. I don't know. What do you think? As I'm showing these, go ahead and drop down, you know, like what you think would look good. I wouldn't mind some suggestions and some ideas. And I might get some ideas from you when I do like my plans for 2025. I might make a separate video to try to pair some of these up with some of the charts in my stash. So this is a 14 count. This was, I think I jar dyed this, yeah. Also just one color, but you get these nice interesting effects when you crumple up the fabric and stuff into the jar. So it turned out looking really nice. 18 count Ada. And I had a few more. This one I used, I think it's Scarlet Red. This didn't take, there was like I think it was a Hardinger fabric that one of my friends used that Scarlet Red on, and it came out really blood red. The Ada didn't take the dye as deeply, but it's still a really nice like tomato red. That was a 14 count, smaller piece. This is a 22 count. I believe this was also pan dyed. So for the pan dyed ones, like I'm not completely immersing it in water. So you get the potential for like more of these sections where it's kind of whitish. But this looks nice. It has like a little marbled effect to it. There were some, I think this was blue and gray. You can see how the colors mixed together. Or maybe not. Was this purple and gray? Or brown and gray? Again, I think this was like more when we were trying to use up whatever dyes we mixed up. But it turned out looking really interesting. I'll have to see what I can stitch on this. And then this one, I really like this one. The linens, like we had a few linens that we dyed. They take the dye very interesting. And they basically like soak it up. Like when I was washing this and rinsing it out, it like barely had any dye bleed through. It like really soaked it up really well. This, I dyed, I think this was the blue and gray one. I just used blues and grays, and it gave it like such a really interesting effect. Like marble, or I don't know how to describe this, but it's really, really pretty. It's got grays and like browns and blues. And it's got like a really interesting texture look to the fabric. And it's a really, really big piece. So it's not an even weave. Well, I guess a linen is an even weave, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not something I would stitch like a full coverage on. But maybe one of my mirrors would be interesting here. Like, I could see, what is that? Crystal Sympathy or Symphony? Is that even what it's called? That Mirabilia pattern where the ladies, or maybe one of the, you know, like basically any of the Mirabilia patterns where the ladies are just, it's a lady in a big fancy dress, like red, or the names of the patterns are escaping me, but I can picture them in my head. And there's one with like a lady who's like dressed up really fancy with a crystal chandelier, and I don't know if there's a Christmas tree in the back or a window. She's got like a whole scene behind her. Like, this would be nice for something like that in my mind. But what would you stitch on this? So that was one that I actually did. I do different color combinations. I just usually keep it to like anywhere between 2 to 3 colors, and my younger sister is much more adventurous with her choices, and she like mixes colors and everything. I usually just keep it to what comes out of the bottle. Yeah, so that's everything that we dyed. Now for haul. I went to a few places with my sister. We went to my local thrift shop. It's called So Ducking Right, if you're ever interested in visiting. And I got some things there. Let me see if I can separate everything out. Because this is a little bit of, I put it all in like one clear bag to go through with you. I got a few things there. I got these are like the bobbin spool thingies. You saw some of them that I had on my Siren of the Sea, holding back the fabric. That's basically what I use them for. I don't use them to like manage my bobbins at all. But they had a whole package of that for $3, and I figured it was a good deal. So I grabbed that. And then they had a bunch of, I'm assuming this is CXC thread. I thought it wasn't a full skein, but when I actually went to like cut them up and stuff, I think they are pretty close to, you know, 8.7 yards, even though it doesn't look like it. Just because of the way that they're packaged, maybe. I mean, it definitely looks like there's not a lot. And then when you actually open them out, there's quite a bit. So I got these different colors. I got all the purples that they had. I use a lot of purples in my mermaids, and I think one of my full covers uses a lot of these like shades of purple. But I'm gonna have to use my color card, my DMC color card, to match it up to the DMC equivalent. And then I got a bunch of these skin tones. I think a lot of those are in the mermaid I'm about to do. I got some greens. They're red. They had. And then a couple of light yellows. I feel like I'm running out of some of the lighter yellow tones. I don't know if it's close or could be substituted in some of the patterns that I do. Again, I don't know. I probably should just take my color card, and there was like a white there. Color card next time, and that way I can try to match it up and see if it actually is a color that I need. So I grabbed that there. Was that the only thing? They had some other things there, but I think my sister took it. My sister we actually found a full Christmas DMC gold collection kit, and it's like one of the out of print ones. She took that. You know, she has like a resale Etsy store. If I remember, I'll link it down below if you're interested in looking at that. She also found a Mirabilia pattern, Deepest Love, the mermaid pattern. Every time I see that mermaid, I think of Aphrodite. I know Mirabilia has like a separate Aphrodite a separate Aphrodite chart. But when I see Deepest Love, I think of Aphrodite for whatever reason. So she found that, so she might be posting that on her site too. Right here, she has a little eBay store. So that was everything I got, I believe, from So Ducking Right. And then we stopped by Smart, which is the other craft store that I used to go to all the time in Nashville. And they actually had some really nice things that I found. They had this whole store for 30% off. And they already have like thrifted prices and stuff. So I found these beads. They're like flower beads. So I figure they make really good pins. And then they're small enough that I could also use them for some of my fancy ladies. So these are like a light pink, light blue. I had one more. Oh, right here. These are like a purple. And it says they're like amethyst colored. They're 77mm sized. So I got those strings. I got this peak of little pink beads. I might use it in one of my snowflakes. I found these packages in Mill Hills. They're like partial packages, but they're the 400, the 42, like the smaller petite beads. So pick those up. They had a spool of acrylic there. It's a number 8 braid. I like stitching with number 8 braid, and it's a pretty purple. I don't really have anything that calls for it, but when I find stuff like that, I grab it. I found these beads. This one's like this has like lighter grays in it. They kind of look like the same color, but they're slightly different. This is like a bluish gray, but they're small enough and they're glittery enough that I could probably use them on one of my mermaids or one of my other fancy ladies. And then there were these beads. There wasn't a lot. It's just 25 cents, but it was like some nice bugle beads. They're like uniform, so I think they're like the higher quality ones. Probably not going to use them for the snowflakes because they're a little smaller than the size that I need for those, but they're nice quality and I could probably use them for a fancy lady. And I also found some of these. They're black bugle beads. These might be close to the size that I need for my snowflakes. I might be able to get away with doing this and maybe like an extra seed bead on the end. I've done that before, so I might try that out for my snowflakes. They also had some of these smaller beads. They didn't have a lot of seed beads that I saw, or at least of the quality that I wanted. But this was only like 10 cents and they're really small, but they're like nice cream yellow beads. So I got that. And then they have some of these spools of thread. I feel like I could use them for embroidery. There's some nice greens and a red, and I'm stitching on the Grinch right now, so I don't know why I'm thinking like Grinchy colors. So I grabbed those. I got this. It is supposed to be like, I guess, an invisible thread maybe, but I grabbed it because it's like a brown color, and I've seen people use this before to, I don't know why it's got like an extra thread wrapped around it. Probably because this is thrifted, so they probably had something extra. Yeah, I don't know if this will work or not, but I figured if you can see it, because it does have a color, like, you know, if you got like black invisible thread and then you use it for like, against white, it might work for gridding. I'm going to use, I also found this really big cut of fabric. I don't know that it's necessarily cross stitch fabric because it doesn't have like the Zweigart strip to it, but it basically looks like Ada, and it's uniform enough that I think I could stitch on this, and it's white, so I could dye it if I wanted to. Yeah, this might not work. It's a little too clear. But if nothing else, I might try beading with this. This is actually less stiff than a lot of the invisible thread I've used in the past, so this might not be terrible for beading. And it's not so invisible that you can't see it, because it's like a brownish color. So this might be a good substitute for doing that. But it would be good if it had been dark enough. It would have been good for gridding because it's like a monofilament thread, so you can't pierce it when you're stitching through it, so it's easy to remove after you're done stitching a piece. So that's why I got that. So I figured either way, good to have. And then the final thing, I showed you this fabric. This is a pretty big piece. I don't know. You can see it there. It's like a folded up. So I thought that was a good find. They had some other fabric that wasn't, but it wasn't cross-stitching fabric, so I'm a little hesitant to get that unless I can pretty easily tell it's even, because it might stitch up a little off. They had some of these. They had some other cards of this, but it like barely had like, I don't know, like a foot left on it. So I didn't feel like getting it, but I thought this was interesting. This is a variegated thread. It's from Rainbow Gallery, and it's 100% bamboo, but it's stranded. So I might try stitching with this. And they had it for 25 cents. I think that's what they do their embroidery floss for. And then the rest of these are silks. This says it's a Belle Soie Spring Violets. So I got that for 25 cents. This doesn't, it just says $9.57. So I don't know if this may be a Splendor silk. It has S on it. So maybe that was a Splendor silk. This is another Belle Soie color Cabbage Patch. yeah, that's it, just those three. So yeah, that's everything that I got at Smart. And then we actually went to Goodwill. And while at Goodwill, I found this nice plastic pouch that I could use for a project bag. And it had some like bag handles. I had a bunch of these keychains with like the stickers on there. So it's just the keychain. The sticker's just on the plastic bag. But it might make for a good like gift or a thread jewelry thing. So there's a few of those. And I found this box. It says grow. It's got like pretty flower on it. And right now it's holding like a lot of my silks. I needed a bigger box. The one that I had before wasn't doing too good of a job. So it's got a lot of my Mosale silk. And I think I ordered, that's the other thing I'm waiting in the mail. I ordered the Mosale advent calendar. I think it's like a 12 days of Christmas advent. So I'll be putting that silk in here too. And I think I also ordered some for grab bags. So I'll basically be able to show that. I'm planning on doing some Flosstube videos with my advent calendars. I just haven't started doing any of that yet because I haven't received it yet. But I think I bought enough stuff to where I can show you like a silk a day. From all the Black Friday sales. So I'm planning on doing that and maybe like recording every day and then releasing the video out at the end of the week. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was all of my haul. That's basically the extent of the purchasing that I did as far as crafts. I've been doing a lot of Christmas shopping too. And I think the majority of it's done. There's just a few things here and there. I haven't signed up. My company does like a Secret Santa exchange. They haven't, I think they do sign-ups this week. So if I put in for it and then we get our names or a list, we get a list and a name, I can do my shopping for that and then I'll be pretty much done. I've already shopped for my family, my husband's family. We're doing the Christmas with them this year and they do a gift exchange. There might be a few things I get for my siblings that I have to order still. I think my husband's doing a lot of his Christmas shopping. And I think I basically finished mine up. Just waiting to get stuff in the mail at this point. Once all that stuff gets in, I can start wrapping. And then that'll be it. So that's it for haul. We'll go over my numbers for the month. This is what the month of November looked like for me. Had a lot of, let me see how many nose stitch days did I have. I had like 5 days where I didn't, no, I had more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days where I didn't do any cross stitching. And then maybe like 3 of those days, 4 of those, 5 of those days I did crocheting instead of cross stitching. And then 2 of those days I didn't do anything because I was just spending time with my family. I had one start that was Under the Sea. No. Unfortunate Souls. It was a kit that I bought when I went over to the grand opening for Forbidden Fabrico of their store. It's a Little Mermaid chart. So I started that this month. I started a baby blanket that I finished, and I finished 2 baby blankets. I had one that was started already from last month, so I finished those. And I've been stitching on my other stuff. Well, crocheting on my other stuff, and then I had the goal for my Grinch that I met. I had some other goals, I guess, for my other projects, and I just didn't get around to touching them like I wanted to. Which I figured, because with the holidays, those weeks I do tend to get less stitching, even though I don't have work. So for this past week, I got 3,906 stitches, from Sunday to Saturday. Today I haven't done any stitching either, so it's probably going to end up being a 0 day, by the end of today. So I finished the month out with a total of 16,284. I'm doing my Siren, with a half stitch only, so if you divide that by 2 for that piece, then I've done a total of 14,022 full stitches. And right now my total stitch count, and this isn't doing the division, is 230,860 stitches for the year. So that's pretty good. I don't think I've done a comparison for where I was last year, but maybe that'll be good to do when I do my year-end wrap-up. So yep, that's where we're at. As far as my balance, I've gotten more work done on my Grinch piece and my Siren of the Seas. So my Grinch piece, I'm at 65%. My Siren of the Seas, I'm at 79% now. Still have 13 whips, including the full total of my Dracarys piece, which is over 100,000 stitches. I'm at a total balance of 293,656 stitches, and I have a margin of 6,344 stitches, so I could start something, and I am planning on starting something, but it's another big bap. I haven't kitted up. I might make it one of my advent starts. But so far, so good. I have a max of 15 whips. I think with the starts that I have for the new year and my bab, I wouldn't surpass that if I don't finish any of the things that I have on here. But I am also planning on starting a mermaid from the mermaid box, so I'll want to start Siren of the Seas before I do that. Let's see if I can manage that before I get the box in. And some of these other things, I have Sky Hunter that's on the low and only has, you know, a little over 2,000 stitches left. Choose Joy has less than 2,000 stitches left. So I have some things that I could be quick finishes if I actually buckle down, but I don't think I'm putting any pressure on myself. This is December, it's the holiday time. I'm not going to push any strict deadlines, except my Grinch piece. I do want to focus on that and try to get that done. So yep, that's my numbers for the month. As far as plans, I am participating in Dimensions December. So this is the kit that I'll be stitching. It's a Gold Collections kit. I got it for $3 at a craft thrift store. That's crazy. But it's Angel of Elegance. I've shown her before. I think she's being stitched on 18 count Ada, using all the kit materials. This is where I'm at. I think I already had like 1,000 stitches in her to begin with. I was trying to make a commitment to stitch on this every day in September or December. So I might try to get a couple stitches in after I finish recording this video. But this is where she's at currently. So I just have like this part of the sleeve, the center. That's basically how I work most patterns, especially the kits, because you don't get a lot of salvage. So I started this at the center here, the sleeve, and I'm slowly working my way out a little bit at a time. So we'll see what kind of progress I can make on this, and hopefully I'll be posting pictures on my Instagram, so feel free to follow my progress on there. I think that was my main thing for December. I didn't end up stitching on any of my Mirabilias for November. I had planned to maybe work on my mermaid, but that just didn't work. I have other priorities, I guess. Some of my other winter projects might come out. I have this kit that my sister had gotten me, Wintry Wolf. It's a stamped cross stitch, but it's not like a Ada. It's like this weird, I guess it's just embroidery fabric. And I don't think a stamp comes out. So it's the first one I've been doing like this. And it's got a little bit of progress in it. I don't think it's even worth showing, to be honest. It's like 30, 60 stitches. So I still have this that I could maybe pull out and work on. It is starting to get colder, so I feel like it would be appropriate. We'll see. So yeah, that's everything. Like I said, I want to do Flossmas videos this year. I'm planning probably gonna do like smaller segments, and I might do like, I don't have anything as of yet, so I might open up like maybe days 1 through 4 together, just depending on when I get it. And film a little short video of that, and compile them all together and do weekly releases. I think, is it Thread the Needle? Her Flosstube, she's also doing Flossmas videos. I don't know if she starts the 1st of December or if she does 12 days Christmas countdown. So I think she'll be having like stitchy challenges that she does as well. I have a ton of Flosstube to catch up on. I have like over 300 videos. I think that's what my watch list is at now. So I'm pretty far behind. I didn't do a lot of watching of YouTube. I do a lot of that like in the background while I'm doing work, and I didn't have a lot of work this week. I just worked Monday and then had the rest of the week off. So hopefully I'll be able to catch that up and do an extra video with me working my snowflakes. My snowflakes! I have to work on my snowflakes. I have not finished anything. I think the beading that I did on the one video was everything that I've worked on so far. And I need to have those done in the next couple weeks for my swap with my coworkers. So I will have to get a move on that. They work up pretty quick, but I do want to give myself a couple of days to finish them. Glue the felt back, get little ribbon hangers and everything, so try to focus on that. Keep that in mind. But yeah, I hope you've been doing good. Hope you, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday, and I hope that you get to enjoy the upcoming holidays. I love all the Christmas candy and treats that are coming out at Aldi's. I got these. They're vanilla dipped peppermint pretzel stars. I would definitely recommend them. I love chocolate covered pretzel anything, and these are actually pretty good. Nice, salty, and sweet. So if you need a food recommendation or a Christmas recommendation, I recommend these. That's about it. I don't think I'm gonna do, well, I guess I just shouted out Thread the Needle. I will also tag the person who is sponsoring the Dimensions December sale. I think it's Amanda. She's on the Simply Stitcher Flosstube or Facebook page. I'll tag her in the description to make sure I give her credit. And if you want to join along, you can pick any Dimensions kit or project and stitch along. It'll be fun, and it'll definitely motivate me to get some more progress on that, because since it's more like a Christmassy kit, I don't really work on it outside of December, and maybe beginning of January if that. So hopefully I'll get progress on that. So that's it. That's my wrap up for November. Hopefully you'll be seeing some Flosstube or Flossmas videos from me here soon. There'll be like an extra video, and oh, I'll also be, so I bought a silk floss advent from Mosale. That is my Stitchy advent. It's the first Christmas where I actually bought like a cross stitch advent thing, so we'll see how that goes. I think I watched somebody else's videos of their opening and unboxing of that last year, and it was really, really nice. Like, I was happy with all the stuff that they showed, so I'm looking forward to that. But I'm also planning on doing something with my husband. We haven't put it together. I think we're going to do it tonight, so I might be doing some extra openings. It's going to be basically from the 1st of December all the way until January 6th. That's my plan. I don't know if I have enough stuff assembled together to do it yet, but what I'm going to be doing is basically an advent from stash. I don't really have a hashtag for that, but if you're interested, I'm basically going back into my stash because I have so much stuff, and I'm actually going to be like putting stuff in random bags, and I'm going to have my husband, like, I'll put them in a separate section of the house, and he's going to pull whatever, and I'll open it that day, and it'll like inspire me to maybe use some of the stuff that I have in my stash that I might have forgotten that I completely have, which can be a tendency to happen when it's just all stored away in a corner of your house. So I thought that might be fun to do this year. We'll see how that works out, and if it helps me, I might have a few new starts too. Last year I did an advent start. I might kind of do what I've seen some people do for May Mania, and if I haven't finished that pattern, start stitching on it again, and if I haven't, maybe do a new start of like a small or something. Honestly, depending on how the first few weeks go, well, that one is the 12 days, but I think I do that Christmas Eve all the way till January 6th, something like that. So I won't start that anytime soon. So I guess I won't be doing ornaments at that point. I don't know. I'll have to see. It might just be me maybe doing some stitching on my full coverage. I'll see how I work it up this year. I don't want a bunch of small starts, but I do have things to start, and I'm going to be getting several different kits in that mermaid box, so I might maybe incorporate those in. We'll see how it goes. I'm still hashing out the finer details on that, which is kind of late because well, it starts Christmas Eve, right? So I have some time still, but I am kind of like last minute some of these things. I had hoped to be a little further along with my Christmas ornaments, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm rambling at this point. That's the end of this video. Hopefully you'll see an extra video soon with either my Flosstube recommendations or some of my unboxings for some of my advents. Yep, so look out for that. Let me know what you're looking forward to as far as Christmas. If you've ordered any cross-stitch advents, if you're doing any unboxings on YouTube, I'd be interested to seeing some other ones. Maybe also shoot up for next year. and let me know what you would think about, as far as the fabrics that I showed that I dyed with my sister, what you could see me stitching on them, because I'm trying to think up some ideas. I might do a separate video showing like all the stuff that I have in my stash. Maybe we can go through again. I know I have a couple of chart parades at the beginning of my channel, so if you want to look through that and match it up, that'd be interesting. I might watch those back and look at all the fabric that I have and see if we can't do that. But yeah, let me know. Drop a comment below, and if you like this video, please subscribe, give it a like, and you get to see some of the other things that I'll share on my channel moving forward. I did not check my subscriber count before the beginning of this video, but I still think we're less than 400. Last video, I think it was 360 something. So if we get to the next 400 mark, I'll have to think of something to do for a giveaway. So we'll see where we're at by the next video. Until next time, I hope you are enjoying the holidays. I hope you take care of yourself, and happy stitching. Bye.